What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Miami, Season 4, Episode 3. So, we open up this episode. We are still at Nicole's dinner party, and, the ladies, they finally sit down to eat dinner, honey, and we found out a couple of things. So, first of all, we found out that Julia, they asked her a little bit about, how does she identify? She said that she's bisexual, she identifies as bisexual, but right now she said, she never put a gender on love. She just loved who she loved. She said, she was in a relationship with the father of her oldest daughters. I think they have two different fathers. And she said they just didn't work out, for whatever reason. She said she never found her soulmate. And she said that Martina is her soulmate. She said, but, she does like to flirt, she said she can flirt, but Martina can't. But she liked to flirt. So then Alexia is like, well, this is great that we're talking about, gay and bisexual, because I actually am going to be hosting a pride event. It is, it's Miami Pride, and I'm going to be hosting a pride event. And she said, I do a lot for the LGBTQIA community, and a lot of people don't know why. Well, I've never told anyone this before, but guess what? My dad was gay, and we didn't find out until after he passed away. Now listen, they say you date your father, but I guess in her case it's even more apropos because you dated a whole gay man and didn't know he was gay until he died. So, girl, that is tragic. Not tragic that they were gay, but tragic that they couldn't live. And that's the one thing she did say. She said it was tragic because her father could not truly live who he was and be truthful in who he was. She said, and my husband, I feel like my husband absolutely did love me, but he could not be honest about who he was, and so we see all of this, whatever, and so that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna go to the, Alexia hosting the gay pride event, okay? So then we have Larsa Pippen is putting their house on the market. Now here's my problem. So she enlists one of the biggest real estate, I guess one of the biggest real estate agents in the country. She said he sold the biggest property here in the United States. I think she said it was Bel Air. It was like a $200 million property. I said, you gotta be kidding me. $200 million? $200 million for a house? And I would think she would have said like Dubai or something. That was here in the United States, $200 million property? The hell? Now they showed pictures of the property. It was nice and everything. $200 million. Neither here nor there. Here's my frustration I have with people. Why do you go out and seek the best person in that field just to not listen to what they're telling you? So the man walks in the house. Now, they originally put the house on the market for, I think she said $12 million, and Scotty wants $14 million. And he said, listen, in this market, for you to go from $12 million to $14 million, he said, you need to give me a tour of this house to show me what it is. Like, you need to justify a $14 million house, and you damn sure need to justify a $2 million jump. Like, are you asking for $14 million because you just think I'm Scottie Pippen and people gonna want to own Scottie Pippen's house? Like, I don't know. So she starts giving him a tour, and he's telling her what she needs to do. He said, because listen, the house is a little dated, and I get it. You think your house is the shit. Y'all built this house from the ground up. That's where you raised your children. You're attached to that house. But as a buyer, somebody from the outside looking in, they're not attached to your house. And if they're looking for the latest and the greatest and the best and this, and this, and they getting ready to spend $14 million, they want to know that they get ready to get $14 million worth of a house. And this man, who by your own admission is the best in the business and you sought out for his expertise, is telling you, y'all are being a little ambitious asking for $14 million. Now, I can help you, because he was telling her that the furniture was a little dated. He was telling her some of the amenities were a little dated. Y'all, you can do this, and the other. And but even after he went through all that, he still told her, I still think $14 million is a little ambitious. And she's going to say, I think we can get $14 million for it. Then why do you bring him in there? Why did you bring that man in there if you're not going to listen to what he's telling you? You said he's the best to do it. I hate when people do that. I hate when people do that. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. And listen, you could be right. You might get $14 million for that house. All I'm saying is you bring somebody in for their expertise. They give you the expertise and then you're going to tell them that they wrong. Okay, do it, girl. Do you. Neither here nor there. Moving on. We see Lisa meeting with Gertie about the wedding. Now, Gertie said in her confessional, if it wasn't for the fact that her and Lisa was friends in real life, she said that she wouldn't even be doing this wedding because Lisa is all over the place. She doesn't have nothing set in stone. She ain't figured nothing out. She don't know nothing. She can't make a hard decision about nothing. She don't have nothing in place. And Gertie said, listen, I am too past this, okay? Maybe in my early days of planning weddings, I had to deal with these types of brides, but I do not have to deal with these types of brides no more, okay? If it wasn't but for the fact that me and Lisa are friends in real life, oh ma'am, I would have told her, baby, it is you, it is me, it is not you, but this is not meant to be. We are not a match made in heaven, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I said, I know that's right, Gertie. I know that's right. She didn't even know who's going to officiate her wedding. Gertie said, well, listen, I got somebody on call, okay? I got somebody on call because I already knew you didn't know what you was doing. Anyway, we know that Lisa is still struggling with the whole future husband situation, okay? And, I mean, that's not Lisa. I'm sorry, Alexia. Y'all don't put that in the comments. I fixed it. I caught myself. Alexia is the one that is struggling, okay? So, yeah. So that's that. Now, Lisa and Nicole, they had a whole play date, right? They had a little play date. They went to churn together to go swimming in the pool, to eat some pizza, and have a little adult conversation. You know, Nicole said there's an art to having a play date. You know, you got to find the right combination of kid plus adult. Because when the kids are occupied and they're enjoying themselves, you still want to be able to have a conversation with the adult. You can't have a play date if the kids don't get along, and you can't have a play date if you don't like the parents. It's got to be a perfect mesh. I said, I know that's right. But what I thought was funny, before I forget to say this part, when they panned over to the kids in that pool and them two boys was looking at each other grinning, I said, oh, they peeing. That look on their face told me they are standing in that pool and they are letting it go. Because that little grin, when they looked over at each other, they had that little grin in their face. They was looking at each other like, you know what I'm doing, right? Yeah, I know what you're doing. You know what I'm doing, too. Yeah, they was peeing in the pool, y'all. But listen, they ain't the first and they ain't the last. It's going to be okay, okay? Now, when Lisa and Nicole went off to the side to have a conversation, you know, Nicole shared with Lisa her story. Now, we found out in the earlier episodes that, you know, Nicole daddy, she said, you know, Nicole grew up very privileged until she was about 10 years old. And at 10 years old, her daddy got indicted for insider trading and conspiracy. Now, I don't know what the conspiracy is. Are we supposed to just fill in the blank? She said conspiracy. Conspiracy to do what? Do people in criminal circles just automatically know when it's a conspiracy? It's just automatically conspiracy ... Or are there specific conspiracies? Is it conspiracy to sell drugs? Conspiracy to murder somebody? Conspiracy? I'm not sure. But it was conspiracy ... and insider trading. Now, because of the insider trading not insider trading, money laundering. Because money laundering was a part of it, I'm feeling like the conspiracy might have been drug related. I don't know. But neither here nor there. She said once her daddy got picked up and went to jail, everything was seized by the FBI. That wonderful, cushy life that they once had, baby, it was to be no more. And she said that, you know, her mom really struggled to, you know, help them maintain. She said that in hindsight, she realized that her mother was really, you know, struggling with taking care of the kids after he left and left them with nothing. And she said, you know, I wouldn't take it away because it made me the woman that I am. You know, I never wanted to be dependent on a man because I went through that with my dad. I saw what it did to my mom, and there's no disrespect to my mom. She loved my father, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I never wanted to be in a position where if a man left me for whatever reason, I didn't have anything. So she said that's why I pushed myself to be a doctor and have my own, and that's why I'm not really pressed about the whole marriage situation. She said if he asked me to marry him, would I marry him? Sure, but I'm not so connected and so attached to being married that it's a part of my identity. And I don't feel like she was looking her nose down on women that it is a part of their identity, but at the end of the day, you know, and so I can respect that. I can definitely respect that. Child, Lisa had a nerve to say that her and Nicole are the same, honey, because she married to a doctor, so she can talk to Nicole because Nicole is a doctor. No, ma'am. That is not the same. That is not the same. So then we get to the LGBTQIA event that Alexia was hosting, and you know, everybody had a good time. Everybody showed up. She gave her speech and everything, and the biggest thing we saw at this event was that we saw Julia and Ariana doing a whole lot of flirting. I mean, some heavy flirting. I mean, if that were my girlfriend, I would be in my feelings type flirting. And everybody is sort of giving Ariana the side eye because, I mean, hell, everybody know that Julia identifies as bisexual, but they kind of giving Ariana to look like, girl, what's this? What's happening here? Okay, but we had already seen last week that Ariana and Julia, they got some sort of sexual tension in there. I don't know what they've done behind closed doors or what they want to do behind closed doors, but it is definitely some sexual tension there. Martina, you better look out, girl. That's all I'm going to say about that. You better watch out for that one. So then we see Martina and Julia having a conversation because her art exhibit is coming up and she's a little nervous. She said, you know, this is the first time I'm having an art exhibit down here in Miami. I don't know how I'm going to be received. You know, nobody wants to have a party and don't nobody show up. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to have an art exhibit and don't nobody buy nothing. I mean, it's nice to show up because, ooh, it's Martina Navratilova, but you want people to buy something. Like, the purpose of having this is for people to purchase, okay? But that was a cute little, you know, scene with them at home with all the animals and stuff, child. And Martina, I feel like she fed up with all the animals, okay? Because Julia said something about getting a mini cow, and Martina was like, but what? And she said, well, I don't want one. She said, well, why are you bringing it up? Okay, because I don't want one either, all right? Why are we bringing it up? So then we have a cute scene with Marisol, Alexandra, and Kiki. Remember, Kiki and Marisol had like a little scuffle last week. And so I thought it was a cute, you know, a little cute situation where they basically were just rehashing the whole situation with her ex-husband and how she's gonna meet up with his lover to just talk to him. And Marisol was like, girl, I couldn't do it. Like, I don't know why we doing that. I couldn't do it, but okay. And Kiki was like, girl, like, this is a whole lot you putting on me. Like, Marisol knew like 90% of the story. Kiki ain't know none of it. So it was all like right here for her. Like, what in the world? Like, what are we doing here? So then we get to the art exhibit. We are at the art exhibit, and Adriana shows up with boyfriend number one, who is Jacob, or date number one, who is Jacob. We find out later on in the evening, baby, she got date number two. And she said, I don't even know, there's like a real mix-up how I ended up with 2 dates at the same event. And all I can say is, girl, I'm not even mad at you. Player from the Himalayas, okay? If you can get away with it, then do it. Because let's be clear, you ain't got no man. You're not claiming none of these men. It's okay for you to invite. Look, men do it all the time. And I think she gets away with it as well as she does. It's because it's like an art exhibit. Like, it's not like a one-on-one situation. It's a bunch of people moving around. And she was the curator of the event. So she had to sort of work the room. And, you know, one day could really feel like, oh, she's not really flirting with him. She flirting to try to get somebody to buy a painting, not so much, oh, she flirting with him because that's her man, that's her date, right? We see Martina and Julia getting ready for the event, and Martina is not really happy with what Miss Julia has on. First of all, she's like, I'm not going to be late to my own event, so I'm going to need y'all to get it together. And then Julia is showing off all the goods. Like, her cleavage is, like, right here. And Martina was like, I don't think I'm feeling that outfit. And she was like, well, I'm gonna be schmoozing and trying to get people to buy the event. Buy your art. And she was like, yeah, but can you put the girls away? Because you're doing too much. Then she gonna say, well, I'm the colorful one, you the plain one. Martina was like, did you just say I'm plain? Like, is that what we're doing here? Like, and let me say this. I love Martina Navratilova. Let's be clear. I have been a fan since I was a child. But let's be clear. Martina, I'm going to need y'all to get her in glam. Okay? Y'all cannot let Martina stand over that mirror with the bad lighting and do her own makeup while the rest of these ladies be sitting in glam for 2 hours. Now, Martina might not be a glam kind of girl, but if y'all gonna put her on this show, I'm gonna need y'all to not have her in that clumpy ass mascara and them drawn on eyebrows. Get her in glam. Y'all not gonna do that to my girl Martina, okay? You are not gonna have her looking crazy out here in these Real Housewives streets. That is first year makeup. Get her in fourth year glam, okay? Anyway. Also, I would love one of those Martina Navratilova works of art. Now, I saw the price tag. They're commas in those price tags, and so I already know that's out of my price range. When there's a comma in the price tag instead of a period, I already know I can't afford it, okay? Now, if I could get to the point where I could afford to spend $15,000 on a piece of art, Martina, I'm coming to you, okay? I want one. I'm coming to you, okay? So, the art exhibit was nice. Like I said, one day I hope to be able to afford a piece. Martina, look, Martina Navratilova, Martina, hook a sister up. I'm just saying. I will put it right there on the wall behind me, and every time I do a video, I will shout you out. I'll be like, that is an original piece from Martina Navratilova. Real talk. Anyway, but Adriana is running around with her 2 dates, and Julia is jealous. Now, again, I have to ask myself, what are you jealous for, ma'am? Why are you jealous? Ma'am, why are you jealous? You got a whole woman. This whole event is your woman. This whole situation, while everybody is here, is your woman. Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere and stop worrying about who Adriana is dating, all 5 of the men that she got coming through there dating, girl, there's a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Martina, you can do better. Don't play with that. You can do better. Anyway, it looks like Nicole's boo thing picked up a piece or two. He said, do you take Amex? Yeah. And can you go ahead and put an extra one on there and just send it to me? My P.O. box is, okay? I will accept gifts, okay? I can be bribed. Anyway, no, seriously. But that's what it is. And we left off the episode with Alexia waiting for her late husband's lover to meet up with her so that they could compare notes. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Drop it in the comments. Peace.